Peace and blessings, family. King Obadele here. Trying to get the lighting straight. My beloved is busy taking care of things, and I give thanks for that. She was so kind to fill in for me yesterday with an assignment that we share. And today I am working everything out as she takes care of these matters so eloquently. We give life from each breath of which we breathe, and in return receive life. In this we give thanks. I am King Obadele. On Dore Teasdell, giver and receiver of a deeper wisdom. I honor the divine in you and those who have gone before us. Tonight we are going to read page 64 of Kahlil Gibran's The Prophet. Speak to us of good and evil. Let us begin. And one of the elders of the city said, "Speak to us of good and evil." And he answered, "Of the good in you I can speak, but not of the evil. For what is evil but good, tortured by its own hunger and thirst? Verily, when good is hungry, it seeks food even in dark caves, and when it thirsts, it drinks even of dead waters. You are good when you are one with yourself, yet when you are not one with yourself. Correction. You are good when you are one with yourself, yet when you are not one with yourself, you are not evil. For a divided house is not a den of thieves. It is only a divided house. And a ship without rudder may wander aimlessly among perilous isles, yet sink not to the bottom. You are good when you strive to give of yourself, yet you are not evil when you seek gain for yourself. For when you strive for gain, you are but a root that clings to the earth and sucks at her breast. Surely the fruit cannot say to the root, "Be like me, ripe and full and ever giving of your abundance." For giving is need, as receiving is a need to the root. You are good when you are fully awake in your speech, yet you are not evil when you sleep, while your tongue staggers without purpose. And even stumbling speech may strengthen a weakened tongue. You are good when you walk to your goal firmly and with bold steps. Yet you are not evil when you go thither limping. Even those who limp go not backward, but you who are strong and swift, see that you do not limp before the lame, deeming it kindness. You are good in countless ways, and you are not evil when you are not good. You are only loitering and sluggard. Pity that the stag could not teach swiftness to the turtles. In your longing for your giant self lies your goodness. And that longing is in all of you. That longing is a torrent rushing with might to the sea, carrying the secrets of the hillsides and the songs of the forest. And in others, it is a flat stream that loses itself in angles and bends and lingers before it reaches the shore. But let him not who long much say to him who longs little, wherefore are you slow and halting? For the truly good asks not the naked, where is your garment? Nor the houseless, what has befallen your house. That is the reading of Kahlil Gibran's The Prophet, speaking of speak to us of good and evil. So, now for the discussion. And one of the elders of the city said, speak to us of good and evil. Now, the perplexity of this is the mindset of duality that really does not exist. Because all is one and one is all and all is God. Is it not so? But it is. In our longing for our giant self, we all seek that which is yet to be found because we seem not to know where to look. And in so doing, things occur that are deemed unworthy or bad or evil and not good. So the elder asked, speak to us of good and evil, and he answered, of the good in you I can speak, but not of the evil. For what is evil but good tortured by its own hunger and thirst? In a book I've read, I have been enlightened to understand that in our world of extremes, the extreme of one extension, and it is only one extension, is just the opposite of what it is from the start. Let me explain. The circle is continuous, and a continuous circle has no end, but it has its up and it has its down. It has its closeness or it has its distance. But nonetheless, if that circle continues to spiral and then it moves, then we have a spiral heading in a direction. So, for what is evil but good tortured by its own hunger and thirst? Verily, when good is hungry, it seeks food even in dark caves. And when it thirsts, it drinks even of dead waters. Think of it. Shipwreck, and there's water all around you. Yet the thirst could drive you to take of that seawater, which could kill you when you are out there for an extended period of time. Thirsty, even when there is nothing around you but tainted water, but in thirst you will take that which is there. When thirsty, one would even drink their own urine because it is a need to quench the thirst. So too is it of hunger. For it says, when good is hungry, it seeks food even in dark caves. So it doesn't matter where the food would be found. In your goodness, in your search for survival, you will do what is required, so you would believe, in order to survive, to do what is necessary. So even in dark caves, good would even search for food. So, as he says, he can speak of the good in you, but not of the evil. You are good when you are one with yourself. And that oneness is the recognition of the unified field, of which all things come from one source, and of that one source all things are, is, and is to be. Then he says, yet when you are not one with yourself, you are not evil. For a divided house is not a den of thieves, it is only a divided house. So when you are not a part of the whole, that does not make you incomplete to the extent that you are not a part of the whole. You are just divided from the whole. You are divided or separated. And what brought that separation? What needs to be filled to be whole, perfect, and complete? So, when you are good when you are one with yourself. Yet, you are not one with yourself. You are not evil. For a house divided is not a den of thieves. It is only a divided house. And a ship without a rudder may wander aimlessly among perilous isles, yet sink not to the bottom. When I see that phrase there, I think of my experience in being torn in such a depression during my first divorce or separation, that I was lost. My soul felt empty. I felt not only wronged, but I felt pain. And I knew what it felt like, but couldn't understand that feeling. And I lost my way. And in searching for what went wrong, I searched in places of which I would find no answer. Yet I did not sink to the bottom. I only experienced the contrast of life and the knowing of what living can be when you are wandering aimlessly amongst perilous isles. So the book continues, you are good when you strive to give of yourself. For you remember, the gift of giving is why we are all here. We are each here to share. To share. I guarantee you, that is it. and there's nothing more except to recognize that this is our mission, the continuation of creation. For our purpose is within us, and that divinity within is what fuels our desire to be more, to go forth and to do more, but to do for others. So, you're good to give yourself, yet not evil when you seek gain for yourself. For what is gain but that which is to replenish yourself, to manifest what is necessary for your survival, so that you will be capable of helping and rendering help to someone else. So the script here says, you are not evil when you seek gain for yourself. For when you strive for gain, you are but a root that clings to the earth and sucks at her breast. Surely the fruit cannot say to the root, be like me, ripe and full and ever giving of your abundance. For to the fruit giving is a need, as receiving is a need to the root. And we can be both of these. We can be the fruit, and we can be the root. For the root has to drink from the source in order to be plenish and replenish. And that working of the root brings sustenance to the fruit, the limbs that reach out to the fruit and give of itself. For the fruit receives of the giving, and in return wishes to give, just as the leaves on the tree do the same. For once the leaf becomes full from its budding, it emanates the oxygen of which we need, as it absorbs the carbon dioxide which we breathe out. You are good when you are fully awake in your speech, yet you are not evil when you sleep, while your tongue staggers without purpose. Those of you who know this, know that there are many people who talk in their sleep, and those are ones who are afraid of the secrets that they keep. But for some reason, and it's been documented on several occasions, I don't speak a language that is commonly known amongst us humans. I speak a tongue that I'm not even familiar with myself. And I am told that it's a tongue of command. So I know not what dimension I may be in or what's going on at the time in which these things happen. But I am not fully awake, yet my tongue speaks a language that my mind would not understand. But it's got to be for a purpose, because it continues, and even stumbling speech may strengthen a weak tongue. So what's going on with this? I couldn't tell you. I do not know. Nonetheless, there are those who speak in tongues, and it is to edify the church. And the interesting thing about that is that the Spirit is speaking to the individual, and sometimes that individual may not be the person of which that speaking comes from, but that speaking goes to. And someone in the audience is picking up on that vibration and knowing exactly what is being said. You are good when you walk to your goal firmly and with bold steps. This is what this is what life coaching is about for the most part. Getting people to walk to their goal firmly and with bold steps. Many people are not capable of reaching their goal without being coached to do so, because there's that inner chatter that speaks and says you're not good enough, or you don't know what you're doing, or some strange resistance comes forth to keep you from your divine purpose. But the book continues and says, yet you are not evil when you go thither leaping. Even those who limp go not backwards. I noticed this years ago, and I find it interesting about our English language that there are many words, that can be spelled backwards to give you a different meaning. Like the word evil, if you spell it backwards, it is live. But then again, if you look at the word devil, if you spell it backwards, it spells lived. So what I'll say in regards to that is, you don't want to live a backward life, for the devil will surely show itself. Even those who limp go not backwards, but you who are strong and swift, see that you do not limp before the lame, deeming it kindness. That reminds me of a poem by Marianne Williamson, of which she says, and I paraphrase, you not allowing your light to shine does no one any good. So to dim your light so that another would not feel inferior is not the thing to do. But let your light shine so that others will allow theirs to shine as well. Peace and blessings, cuz. Angela, it's always a pleasure. So the book continues. You are good in countless ways, and you are not evil when you are not good. You are only loitering and sluggard. Pity that the stag cannot teach swiftness to the turtles. In this passage, each has its own purpose, because a deer can't teach a turtle how to run as swiftly as it, because it has not the ability to do so. So when you are good in countless ways, count those ways and give gratitude to that, because it also says you are not evil when you are not good. You are only loitering and sluggard, meaning that you are not moving forward, just as they spoke of the lame. If the lame is moving forward, it is better than not to move at all. In your longing for your giant self lies your goodness, and that longing is in all of you. There is the self, and that self is the wholeness of the divine, and each one of us is an expression of that divinity. As long as we are seeking the higher self, we are doing well. So in your longing for your higher self lies your goodness. So constantly seek the divine, because it is in each and every one of us, because we all are one. But in some of you that longing is a torrent rushing with might to the sea, carrying the secrets of the hillsides and the songs of the forest. That can be seen in so many ways, because if you look at when a flood comes and rushes to capture what is drawing it, is not destruction clearly seen of it? Yet, if it is in its place proper, it could be flowing down a stream, rushing to get to where it needs to go, because it's already cleaned out the city, and it's cleaned out the gutters, and it's cleaned out the places that needed to be washed clear of the things that no longer needed to be there. I've seen many people who died in the streets, and sometimes the blood isn't washed away until the rain comes. So in some of you, that longing is a torrent rushing with might to the sea, carrying the secrets of the hillsides and the songs of the forest. What are the songs of the forest? That which has happened in the forest, that which is being cleansed of the forest, that which is going to the sea to become a part of what it is to be. Yet our book continues and says, and in others, that longing is a flat stream that loses itself in angles and bends and lingers before it reaches the shore. Again, I think of the drug addict, somebody who has felt a tinge of pain, the alcoholic who drinks to satisfy an ache that he cannot explain, that she cannot understand, that brings some sort of satisfaction, yet a misery at the same time. For it loses itself in angles and bends and lingers before it reaches the shore. But each and every one of us will live our life in accordance to the instructions given it. For we all shall reach the shore, of which energy we are, into energy we shall return. So the book continues and says, but let not him who longs much say to him who longs little, wherefore are you slow in halting? For the truly good ask not the naked, where is your garment? Nor the houseless, what has befallen your house? Reason being is because each one of us are given our own life instructions. The key is to be mindful of the divinity that is within you. Meditate, listen, and hear what the Spirit is saying to you. Capture the words of truth, and not question another of what they do and how they go about doing it, but ask maybe if there is something you can do into assisting them, but not bring fault to what you see, but share of your gifts so that they too will receive of the goodness that has been also given unto you. with that, I give thanks for your time, and I hope that these words from Kahlil Gibran brings a little bit of wisdom that aids in our growth and development to become what we are intended to be, a divine expression of love. With that being said, I love you. I thank God for you. And I know wherever you are, God is. With that, I bid you namaste.